Section 5.3, using symbols to add fractions. The easiest way to do it is to find the common denominator. In other words, the bottom of the fraction is what you're going to have to find. So when you're adding, if the bottoms are the same, it's really easy to do. You just simply add up the tops. So the answer to this one would be 3 over 5. So that's if the bottoms are the same or the denominators are common. So let's add them. 1/12 and 4/12. Well, the bottoms are the same, so it's going to be out of twelfths. The answer is 5/12. So it's pretty easy. Even if you had 11/12 plus 4, then it would be 15/12. Or if we were to change that back, we'd have 1 and 3/12, which could be changed to 1 and 1/4, because you could reduce this by dividing it by 3. Divide 3 by 3 and 12 by 3. So really, if they're the same on the bottom, it's really easy to do. But what if the denominators are different like this? And the easiest way to do it is to determine the common multiples. So let's look at this one here. We're going to try to find the lowest common multiple if we can. In other words, the same what will go into both of these. Okay? So let's try this one here. We're going to count by 6. 6, 12, 18, and so on. We can keep going. Let's count by 12s. 12, 24, and so on. Now we're going to find what was the lowest one they have in common. And of course the answer is 12. So we want to make both of these numbers 12. Well, let's do it. How do we make the first one 12? Well, it is already 12. How do we make this one here become 12? By multiplying it by 2. And of course, to make them equivalent, we want to multiply the top by 2. So that will change this one. So we'll still have 1/12 on this side, but on this side we'll have 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 6 is 12. Add them together. 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 12 is on the bottom. So we made them have the same common denominator, or the same bottom number, simply by multiplying them by a certain amount. Let's try this one here. Well, again, we count by tens. 10, 20, 30, and we just do a few of them. Then we count by sixes. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So the least common one they have is 30. So how am I going to make each one of these bottoms become 30? So let's try it. Times this by 3. That'll make it 30. And then you must do the same to the top. What do we multiply 6 by to make it 30? We times it by 5. Now, remember, the bottoms are going to be 30 because 3 times 10 is 30, and 6 times 5 is 30. 3 times 7 is 21. 5 times 1 is 5. Now our answer is 26 over 30. And if you want to reduce it to make it even smaller, divide both of them by 2. So divide the top by 2, and we'll get 13. Divide the bottom by 2, and we'll get 15. So now we just reduced it to the lowest we could make it. Let's look at this one. What can 3 go into that 6 will also go into? And the answer really simply is 6, because 3, 6, 9, and we know it'll become 6. So times the bottom by 2, times the top by 2, and we'll have 5 over 6 plus 2 over 6, which equals 7 over 6, which equals 1 whole, and we got 1 left over out of 6. The last one here, a little hint, don't forget to reduce your fraction to lowest terms in this case. We count by tens, we get 10, 20, 30. We count by twos, we get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we can make that 2 become a 10 by multiplying it by 5. And we multiply that by 5. So now we have 3 over 10, plus 5 over 10, which equals 8 over 10. And of course, they're both even numbers, so we can divide this by 2 and divide this by 2 to simplify and reduce it to its lowest fraction. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 will give you 5. So our answer to that question is 4/5.